library like at least 3-4 times a week to study.
I come all the time. I'm always here studying, and it's really cool because like if I'm with a group and I do group studies, I can go on like the not quiet floors, and if I'm by myself, I can go on the quiet floors. So I'm here, I would say, the majority of my time.
Multiple times a day. I love coming here to study. I love using the resources for research. It's really awesome.
Honestly, I come to the library almost every day, not only for just the academic purposes, say for research and everything that I do, but I also come here as a social aspect as well. Usually a lot of my friends just want to hang out, say, hey, let's go to the library. It's like, okay, cool, or I'll meet you up at the library. So I think the library is a really good way not only to connect socially, but as well as like a really good academic resource.
I actually use the online resources more than I do come in the library, just because it's easier for me to do that at home.
I come here pretty often. I like to use the resources that are online. I also like to use the Digital Media Studio for any of my assignments that I have to do for my classes. And then I just like the atmosphere that we can study here, so I come here a lot.
Study habits, good study habits, like do it early, go with the notes, read before class, actually show up to class.
How to study, definitely, because we never had to study in high school. You just 30 minutes for the test, plopped up the book, and you could learn it and memorize it basically. But here you actually have to learn it and actually get the concepts, because whatever you're going to do in your next class is what you already covered in the class you took before. So
I think high school would have just prepared me a little bit more for, I guess, the whole organizational aspect of the paper, as well as starting it early to make sure that you have a really good paper done by the due date. So you won't be rushing in. It won't be not a paper that you're really proud of.
In high school, we used just Googled anything, or we used Wikipedia, which is really bad. Nobody really told me about that in high school. I mean, I had to learn eventually when my papers, they were uncredible things and documents. They were just wrong.
I wish I would have learned how to research better. How to not necessarily just find an article that's title matched the topic I needed and then read it over, but learned how to take notes and cite along with taking those notes, so when I go back to actually write my research paper, I don't have to figure out where this quote came from.
Time management.
Time management.
Learning how to manage my time.
I think time management.
Time management is definitely the most important thing, because in high school, you're told what to do all the time because your parents are there, and you come to college and you're taking, 12 to 19 hours, and you don't know, how much time is too much time for friends, or, it's really hard.
In general, I think one thing that I wish I would have learned more in college is the whole independent aspect of college, because going from high school to college, you're very independent, basically. Back in high school, you're very structured, while in college, you have a lot of freedom that you can go off and do. And usually, with this freedom, you can kind of take a lot of your time up, or you can kind of forget to prioritize some stuff, and that could also go to the aspect of pushing your paper back. you kind of forget what to prioritize, and you don't really know how to do it. So, I think also for high school, I wish they would have prepared me more for the whole independent aspect and being ready for that, and time management as well.
To get it done early. Also to organize it first before you start actually reaching out and trying to find the resources themselves.
Start it early, plan it out, ask plenty of questions, and do a thorough job of it.
Cite everything. No plagiarism.
Your sources are cited the correct way.
For English class, I remember we came here and we talked to one of the librarians, and she helped us how to cite everything correctly. Because even though we've learned MLA, in AP classes in high school, there's still some different things that they might want to do, and so just learning it really did help on the essay.
Just the fact that you guys have so many opportunities to look for resources online. I actually took my dual credit through UTA, so I didn't have a lot of research opportunities for my high school because we didn't really write research papers, but here there's so many different things online that you can look for, and it's really convenient.
there's a lot more resources out there than just Google. I used to Google scholarly article and then the name of something I needed and hope something would actually come up and would be legit. But since coming here, I've learned there are a lot of other resources as far as PsycInfo, which is one of the main databases that I use, as well as People. There are always good resources.
For me, I think the best resource is, besides books, are the people, since they can really direct you to other information, because at first when you walk in, you don't know where to start.
Utilize the librarians. When I came here to do like English papers and like term papers for engineering, utilizing the librarians, they help you to understand like what resources to use for your papers and stuff, what good, credible resources to use.
Work now, party later, maybe? You don't want to mess up your first semester. It's a lot easier to just keep a good GPA rather than blowing off your first semester and then catching up second semester.
The first thing that you need to do, I did this first, you need to like go to the library. And I know it sounds like a cliche that you need to study and have time management, but it really works out. It really works out if you get into that habit early on in your college career.
If you have questions, ask them. If you have a research paper or any other type of research project, start it as soon as it's assigned. Don't wait until the night before.
Don't be afraid that what you have to say, or when you ask a question, that it's a silly question. And you know, if you need those resources, they're out there.
UTA also has, on the 4th floor, they have the writing center. And that's a really big help, especially when it comes for papers. So I would just tell incoming freshmen or incoming students just to use the resources that are around them, because it will help you out.
The library is a wonderful resource. It has so much here. Also, your tuition is paying for it, so you might as well just do it.